How's it going, everyone? It's your boy, GD, the sports actor, where we talk a little bit about sports and we talk a little bit about acting. And today, we're going to talk about that abysmal performance from the New York Giants. And I'm talking abysmal for the season opener at home, losing 40 to goose egg to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, guys, all my years of watching football, and I've never seen anything like this. I'm shocked. It literally took me 2 days to do this video because I was numb on Monday. After what happened on Sunday night, I literally thought that the next day it didn't seem real. And the game almost didn't seem real. 40-0 after what I saw at OTAs, after what we saw in the preseason, after what we discussed on the improvements and the additional weapons that we've added on this team. To watch us lose a divisional game against a divisional opponent like the Dallas Cowboys to open up 40-0. Wow. So, who's to blame? Where are you pointing fingers? Well, let's get to it because I have a few fingers to point. And let's start with the biggest finger, the offensive line. You're the biggest finger, which is the middle finger, I think, on the hand. Yeah. You guys are the biggest finger because Daniel Jones could get no type of block. There was no block. Everything was expired. Tupperware is open. Oxygen is hitting it. There was no blocking anything. I mean, you had our left side that was just dominant, that did well, that really held its own, especially, Andrew Thomas. I commend him, especially after that field goal block. I believe he pulled a hamstring and still made an attempt to make the tackle and stayed in the game. So, so I commend him for sure. Ben Bredesen, I thought he played well as well on that left side, but it was just the right side. The right side just looks horrible. And I'll put up a clip, while I discuss, but the right side, if you see, two people we're going to call out, Mark Golowski and Evan Neal. Between the two, just non-existent. Just not a threat, just a gate. Just two people that you can put a little latch, open it, and they just let you in to go tackle your quarterback. Because that's all that I saw. That's all that I'm seeing. Look, you can see it right here. No stance structure. No good timing off of your release when the ball gets snapped to even be in position to block anyone out. You look small, you look thin, people are running around you, you look soft and weak, you're getting thrown around, you're getting pushed through. It was horrible. It was horrible. And you know what makes me so much more upset is that this game, it wasn't even like it was offense getting lit up by the defense, or it wasn't anything like that. It was just our offense just couldn't get out of their own way. So many mistakes and so many penalties. I talked about this on a few of my other pods. The penalties with the New York Giants need to stop. It's costing so much. You're getting so frustrated, which causes you guys to mess up the next play and the next play and the next play. And so it was a horrible performance all around. Not only from the offensive line, which they need to figure out. I'm not done with you guys yet. They need to figure it out. I don't know if they need to possibly move Evan Neal into right guard. I don't know if they need to switch Mark Golowski. I don't know if they need to bring Matt Pert over in since he's the backup for that right tackle and do some shifting around. But they need to figure it out because there's no way we can survive with this type of offensive line and this many pressures. I think Daniel Jones got sacked for 7 times. 7 times he got sacked. And so it's just, it's a little bit upsetting to see that we've added so many weapons and they can't be used because our quarterback doesn't have time. Because our offensive line doesn't want to improve. Which we thought that they did. But, this was week 1. The temperature was a little bit off. Maybe there was a little bit of nerves kicking. I don't know what it is. I'm not here for the excuses. I just know that there needs to be some better defense or some better offense on that offensive line. We need you guys to block for Danny Dimes so he has time to do what he needs to do. And now we move on to Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes, I mean, he had some good rushes here and there. And, you know, he had a situation that he was dealing with, which made it almost impossible for him to play as well as he probably wanted to. But at the end of the day, you know, the rushing looked good, but your decision making is slow. Right off the break, when Daniel Jones gets hiked, the guys, first of all, I thought he was looking to do the run almost on every play. I don't know if you were looking for a receiver at all. And I don't know if it's because you didn't have time or because you're just indecisive. Because you need to, with the type of offensive line that you have, I believe that, you know, Daniel Jones needs to make corrections and make more decisive plays. And I don't know if we need to draw plays that are like screens, or if you need to do curl routes, or if you need to do quicker slants, what needs to happen. But we have the weapons to be able to draw up some of these plays because the ball needs to get out of his hands. You got Jalen Hyatt, maybe throw him a quick one on the outside, let him work some magic, maybe set up Darren Waller to do a nice little block. He cuts back inside. I don't know what needs to be done. Just gave you something. I don't know what needs to be done, but I'm going to tell you right now, we need to adjust because this whole, hike, drop, thinking he's going to have time to scan the field. He doesn't have an offensive line to scan the field. There's no scanning time, no Terminator time. You need to be right on your, whoop, whoop. We don't even have a sound for that type of move yet because it's just sounds. Whoop, boop. That's it. And so, you know, I definitely hope that he just plays are drawn up so he can make quicker throws, quicker decisions, and give him a little bit more confidence when he is in those moments and linebackers are pushing up close in the box because they know that you got no time to throw, so they're not even worried about it. They're just blitzing all day, and they're succeeding at it. And so, you know, Daniel Jones, you threw that one interception when you didn't have to. Running out to the out of bounds. You had no chance in hell. Giving the ball up. Just unnecessary, man. Just unnecessary mistakes that the Giants don't need to be making. And it starts with the offensive line. I mean, you guys are a tandem. The line and the QBs. I mean, we see both of you. Both of you are seen at the same time. I think Robert Saleh, the head coach for the Jets, he said it best on Hard Knocks. When we see the quarterback, we see the offensive line. And you guys have been put on notice 1,000 times. Let's make the adjustments. Let's get stronger. Let's get better. Let's get a little bit more defending going on. And so, you know, like I said, our next matchup will be against the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday, 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, 1 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. And that matchup should be an easy one for us. It should be a walk in the park. That one we should win because that team that I saw, I don't know who that was. 40-0, couldn't do anything. I don't know who that was. And, you know, thirdly, I'd like to also, you know, put some pressure on the coaching staff. Because I thought these boys were prepared. I thought these men were ready to go to battle, put their helmets on, and perform. Like I said, defense looked good. Xavier McKinney looked good. X doing his thing. Dexter Lawrence doing his thing. Leonard Williams doing his thing. Adoree Jackson, I don't know about that whole slot corner position because there was a certain play that CeeDee Lamb drifts off to the left side and I believe maybe it was Ferguson, one of the tight ends is coming in to do a cross, and Adoree just gets lost in the mix, washed up by the tight end, leaving on the outside CD to catch and go for some yards. That's wild. I don't know if we need to get someone bigger on the inside that can avoid those things because Adoree Jackson is rather small at times compared to maybe some other receivers. I don't know what needs to happen to that part, but it's something that needs to be looked at, something that needs to be addressed. And so I hope he doesn't get washed out again like that because he's a great corner, great DB. And so, I think it's maybe just some adjustment periods, growing pains. But the Cowboys, they came ready. They came ready for sure. And our coaching staff didn't look ready to keep Daniel Jones in the game. When it's 33-0 in the third quarter, switch it up. You have a second, a QB2. You have a backup quarterback for a reason through Tyrod Taylor. Get Daniel Jones out the game. Obviously, nothing's going on. And Brian DeBole said in the press conference that he was waiting to see a spark. He wanted to get a spark going. There's no spark. There's no dry wood. There's no flakes. There's nothing to get anything going. He's not getting it going. It's 33-0. He's been in the game since jump. They chose to let us get the ball first. Nothing's been going. Throw Tyrod Taylor in there and let's get some plays. Let's see some action. Let's try to, give the fans something to look at to say like, hey, yeah, we're down by 33, but hey, we still have a fighting unit here. We still have a lot of players that can be utilized. Jalen Hyatt got one target. A guy that we drafted got one target. We got him through the draft. One target his way. Come on. So, I hope the improvement comes. The head coach for the offense, or the coach for the offensive line, I hope he's having a serious look at himself as to why the offensive line is not better and ready. I don't know if a discussion needs to happen there, but I'm telling you, we're all watching. We're watching for sure, especially Giant fans this year. There are expectations. And, I know that the Giants have expectations for themselves as well. And so I'm not going to, look too much into it. Like I said, I had time to rest. I had time to collect myself, give myself, that Monday. And I think it's going to be okay. We're going to move forward. We're going to come to the next game. We're not going to delve on that, and we're going to be better and improve. There's a lot to look at. And the good thing about this should be the worst that we can ever do this season. This should be the lowest bar, and it's all uphill from here. So that's my hope, at least. But yeah, so just a little breakdown on the Giants. And like I said, we have a game this Sunday, 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, 1 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. The New York Giants against Isaiah Simmons' old team, Arizona Cardinals. They had 5 sacks against the Washington Commanders last week. So definitely a team that the offensive line needs to be ready for, because now they just have some game footage they can watch from last week's ass whooping. You can just go watch some tape, figure out how to set up their guys in the same schemes, and maybe try to do the same thing. So I hope our guys are ready. I don't know if we need to bring in Matt Pert, if we need to move in Joshua Zito, if we need to do this early before week 5 or 6. We don't have our bye until about week 13. So, I'd like to get this going now before we have to worry about this later. And so, for all the Giants around there, continue to root for our team. We got this, and let's go blue. This is your boy, GD, the sports actor.